Lawrence Phillips died, how that could affect Johnny Manziel, or not affect Johnny Manziel, but we have to look at it and what happened with Lawrence Phillips. Now, I don't think Johnny Manziel has done anything near as egregious as Lawrence Phillips. Lawrence Phillips had a lot of problems. Not to say that Johnny Manziel did not, but Lawrence Phillips was clearly a guy who struggled with a lot of things. So, now that they are moving on from Johnny Manziel, where do they go from here? Who's going to want to pick him up? The media circus, obviously the problems he has off the field, just seems like he doesn't get it. Similar to what Lawrence Phillips was. He was a guy who didn't get it either. So there have been talks about the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys. Frankly, I'd rather have Robert Griffin III than Johnny Manziel between those two guys. But as far as how it went down in Cleveland for Manziel, I don't think at first he was really given the opportunity. Brian Hoyer had that team competitive his rookie season, which was last year, which I think hindered Manziel's growth because you couldn't turn away from Brian Hoyer as long as he was playing well. Now, this season, he had his opportunities. We talked about it towards the end of the year, and he clearly did not live up to what he needed to do at the end of the season. So a lot of the off-the-field questions are coming in with Johnny Manziel, but a lot of it has to be, can he play? Because he really hasn't shown the ability to be able to run an offense, to complete passes at an efficient and consistent rate. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Johnny Manziel from here. And it's also going to be interesting to see who the Cleveland Browns choose to play quarterback. They have a high draft pick. There's some talk about the guy Goff from California, or however you say his name. You'd have to assume that they're going to be looking for a quarterback early in the draft. So they got to get it right this time. So Cleveland clearly has a lot of questions, and so does Johnny Manziel. So we wish Johnny Manziel the best. I thought at first a lot of it was just blown out of proportion, and we've discussed before on this show, on my YouTube channel, that Johnny Manziel is the monster that the media created. They wanted to follow this guy around, the Johnny football when he was still at Texas A&M, and this is what happens, and you can't, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't necessarily turn your back on him now because he's not doing what you wanted. I don't think had Johnny Manziel gotten the media hype that he got early on when he was just in college, that things would still be going this way. I mean, they were talking about things like he was, went to a frat party or something like that is the most egregious thing someone could ever do while in college, or he overslept, things like that. And I thought those things were blown out of proportion. Now, some of the things I see, there may be a problem, there may not be a problem. I'm not one to just, just talk about his problems with alcohol. I'm not one who goes on and says, people are just alcoholics because you see them drink. I think that term is overused, and I don't really buy into addiction much myself. So, again, we wish Johnny Manziel the best, and we will see what will happen from here, as well as what will happen for the Cleveland Browns.